We are playing Empyrion, and we've built something cool. I just wanted to show it off. This is the Century Eagle. For copyright reasons, we had to call it that instead of what we really wanted to call it. You'll see why we call it the Century Eagle in just a second. So, capital ships are pretty much just mobile bases. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. Let me go ahead and get into a place where I'm not going to get killed, so God mode. Alright. You might see why we call it the Century Eagle. It looks very familiar to anyone who really likes Star Wars. Oh, it's magnificent. Every time I look at it, I can't help it. So we got some of the engines in these front bits here. So you can see, let me turn my light on. There's some thrusters here, lots of big just huge thrusters. But we need it, because this thing's massive. But yeah, so that's what we've been working on just a little bit. Let me get down here. So we have a hatch here where you can get to the ship here. This is the one where in Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker's hanging from the little antenna at Bespin, and they come up and they have to come grab him and fix his hand up and all that jazz. So that's kind of cool. I insisted on having that because, you know, what's the point in having the Millennium Falcon if you don't have it fairly accurate? So this is the hatch that goes down to the engineering area. It's not pressurized, but it has the RCSs, some engines. It'll cook your face if you sit down here too long, fuel tanks, etc. And then, of course, we have the cockpit over here, and I'll start there for the grand tour of the inside. So, of course, you've got the cockpit. I can get out of God mode since I'm inside. So we have a little bit of a variation. It just we couldn't center things right, so we put it like this. You got your 4 passenger seats for Chewie and Luke and Leia and I guess Calrissian if he shows up. But of course, the cockpit for Han Solo. Nice view out the front. And then you come down this causeway, and we have the exit to the outside. We do have a little button up here that extends the ramp. When it's green, the ramp is down. So if I walk down here right now, this is like so, and then if I hit this button again, it will retract the ramp. So that's kind of cool. Of course, the problem is if you do that, it's kind of sticky to get to the shutter. Come on, no, forget it. It's gonna be open. Minox can fly in. I don't care. This is a docking area for small vessels. If you can manage to get it to dock against these 2 pieces, it's still a work in progress. Oh, we did lose the Hondo's Gambit to an unfortunate drone incident. We found out that ship was pretty squishy, which is something I commented on when I first saw it. That's a lot of glass, and it was a lot of glass. They got destroyed. This is the ready room or conference room or wherever you'd sit and play your plan your missions. A little sitting area, and of course the captain's quarters back here, where you can bunk down real close to the cockpit and run over there if he needs to. And these are all just decoration blocks. A lot of these are that's deco. This is a passenger seat, so you can sit in this one and look at the. I just love sitting down and like panning around the ship because it's cool. Get out of the second person mode, third person mode. Alright, and then we go here, and we get to the center room. We have over here the medical bay. This has got all the medical equipment we showed you in the base. All the same stuff, just ready to heal you up if you need to. I don't know what happened there. I have to fix that. That's going to bother me. Coming around this corner. And here is the mess hall. It's got a little bar with your food processor and a fridge, a little sink, sitting area. I guess this is where you'd play that game where it's the space chess, where if you let the Wookiee win, he won't rip your arms off type thing. Constructors over here. This is the entry that we showed before to the hatch to the top and engineering. So you can either cross through or you can walk around. It's kind of a neat design, I think. Back here we have crew quarters. We got some beds, some seating, some storage, and a bathroom is back here to get rid of your radiation. There's also one in the captain's quarters. There are windows that go, you can see out through the roof, which is kind of cool. Like imagining you're laying in bed in this spaceship and you can look out and see the stars. I think that's pretty cool. Next up, we do have our plant growing room. And I've got it set up so there's 20 plants, and that will make, if everything is harvested at the same time, which isn't already yet, you can make 8 cans of canned vegetables. Because ultimately I try to be efficient so I don't have a whole bunch of extra vegetables sitting around. This is something I'm kind of proud of. This is the turrets. You know, if you watch Star Wars, the first one especially, Luke runs to the end of the hall and goes up or down to the shooting turrets, the turrets where you shoot the TIE fighters and all. So down here is where you do that. I tried to make it so you could actually see the guns you'd be firing. It's kind of difficult in the limited space I've got, but I thought that looked pretty cool. Kind of played around a lot with like design and all that, and the curved edges. I think just give it that real Star Wars look with these hallways. And Justin decided to do the glowing panels, which I think look just tight in this situation. So you've got those there. We've got our constructor all full up of everything from the base, because now we did have some problems with the ship. We went to enter atmosphere at Oscaloon, and it ended up killing us, or destroying the ship. Just bugged out when we went in. Oh look, what's this? Oh right, I forgot the Millennium Falcon is a smuggler's ship. So we have a smuggler's hold, just like in the movie. So you go down here, and there is a little secret passage that leads you to an area with all these chests. It's not very well lit, but you don't want it to be well lit, especially if it's underneath the walking area for everything else. But we have a whole bunch of storage down here, as well as a constructor, I think, unless I had to respawn in this ship, as I said, because the planet destroyed our ship. Yeah, the constructor's not down here yet, but Justin will probably put it back down. But he was just using it to have a, this is where we process the spice, or whatever. But yeah, that's just a little panel in the kitchen, so you have to go into the kitchen to get to it, so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's been a labor of love. Like, this has been a couple days of us building this. I came home from work one day, and Justin sends me a text on the way home, and it's like, so I did something, and he sends me this picture of the outline of this ship, like just the framework, and I'm like, oh gosh. So I came home, and I fiddled around with it, and I fixed the cockpit so it was at the right angle, so it looked awesome, and then we just framed it all off and did our work there, but I think everything came out pretty good. I mean, it looks like, if I saw that, it'd be like, oh, it's like the Millennium Falcon. If it's not exactly like the Millennium Falcon, obviously, but I would say it's definitely a Corellian freighter, and I had a lot of fun painting it and all that. We did minimal, like, it's mostly gray, but so is the Falcon, but I wanted to put that red Go Faster stripe on it, and some light, the light paints, which I think is cool looking on the front, and they put a little texture on some of the sides, some flares, just to give it a little extra light. I've had a lot of fun making this ship, and it's pretty usable, like, legit. I can take this into atmosphere, and we can take off again. It flies really well. Like, it's a little bulky, but we don't have the second tier RCSs in here either. So that is something that will improve maneuverability in the future. So I don't think we're going to use this in our survival game, just because it is a little bit beyond where we are right now. I think what we need to do is rebuild a small vessel, because we did destroy the Honda's Gambit, as I said. But when we do get to space, we can spawn in this blueprint, or we can build I'm going to build another capital ship either way. Usually what Justin and I do when we play this game is each of us build our own capital ship, and then we have a, fashion show to see who has the better one, and it's usually him. So we had discovered all the planets with the capital ship. Scale line we've been to, but Oscaloon is where we are now. Asteroid field, Estes, which is, I think, a lava planet. What is Estes? Yeah, it's a lava planet. It's not pretty, but it does have quite a bit of well, the thing I can't get anywhere else. That's kind of what you go down to, is you like look at what is available and what's available elsewhere. Like, for instance, the reason we're at Ascaloon is because Erestrum and Zascosium are available on the surface, and problem is, of course, that it is dangerous down there. There are just tons of alien posts and alien ships and drones, and it's not a pretty place to be. But what I'm going to do right now is we're going to take a couple jumps and go to back to Akua and land this sucker so that we can start our next episode in a place where are we going? Right through the planet. Let's back up. This is a common problem. Okay, come on. Actually, can I go straight to Akua? No, I don't want to talk to my faction. That's weird. No, I'd have to go. Let's go to Skillon first. I'll have the same amount of jumps. It's just... And I think it does matter the path you take, because it will use more or less pentaxin. Okay, I got 63. We should be good. And boom. No, that's not the button I need to press. And I beg your pardon. I had to sneeze. And K will send you to warp speed. It's soon I'm going to show you what it looks like when you jump, because from the outside, because it looks really cool. I had a space station that had this really big docking bay for capital ships and small ships to get repaired, and it was like a ring that you kind of guided your ship into to get it lined up to the repair bay. And yeah, I got to watch Justin. Oh, why this thing just... Come on. Oh, it maneuvers like a brick. Like I said, once we get that next tier of RCS built, we'll be able to make this a heck of a lot more maneuverable. And that's another reason engineering is accessible, so you can go in there and replace the RCSs as we need. Hello. Hello, Akua. Hello, beautiful Akua. Home sweet home. So let's watch this guy go into... I just love flying into an asteroid belt with this, because they'd be crazy to follow us. If you get that reference, you know what I'm talking about. So, we're just going to go back to Akua. Oh, we've even got a radar dish, as you can see, on the top of this ship. We've got the ever important radar dish. Because it's controversy. Square, round radar dish. Which one do you prefer? I prefer the round one, but that's me being old school. But, you know, granted, Lando did knock it off, and there's a cobalt asteroid there. Good for it. I'm glad it exists. It's good to know. I really kind of want more light coming off the back of this, because if you remember the Millennium Falcon, it had that giant swath of blue in the back. I might have to retexture the back a little bit once we get landed, and I do have my plants on a separate airlock system, so I can just, like, one of the bigger problems you'll have with a capital vessel, especially if you're trying to grow plants on it for survival, is that if you if you mess up the seal and you remove oxygen from a ship, it will kill all your plants, like, immediately. You also have to make sure you have power in your ship for the same reason, because once the power goes off, the pressure goes off, and you can't maintain oxygen, and then all your plants die. And unless you keep sprouts sitting around, and that's, you know, one of the benefits, I guess, keeping around a whole bunch of extra plants that you don't really need for recipes, is you can make yourself a new... Hello? Oh, come on. There we go. Sometimes this game, man. Alright. Let's see if I can find the base. Oh, we're right on top of it. Let's see. Now, one of the nice things about a capital ship is it will just hover. Oh my gosh, but it doesn't turn. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Again, like I said, once we get the better RCSs, this will not be as much of a pain. Okay. But, oh, she's beautiful. Majestic. And I put a light, like, on the docking bay just so it's very visible. Oh, we got the windows there. That's the one that makes me nervous. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to replace those eventually to keep things from shooting them out. But with the core being in the middle, I have a feeling they're going to attack it from the bottom or the top. Or, I don't know. They're probably still going to take out all our windows because they're good at that. And windows are notoriously fragile things. Now, the ones on the top that go to the crew quarters and the captain's quarters that show the stars from above, like I showed you earlier, those are the shuttered ones. And the shuttered ones are a little more durable than the glass ones. However, they don't have a 1x2 slope which is what I needed for these sides and for the corners at the top there, the little ones in the center ring. You can see there, I've got those triangular looking windows. You have, like, I have played this game and an embarrassing amount of number of hours. Like, I know why Steam says I've played it for, hold on, I can check real quick. Oh, it's ridiculous how much Steam says I've been playing it. You have been playing 4,994 hours. No, that does not mean I've actually played 4,994 hours. This means that I have had the game loaded on my computer that long. I've probably only played a fraction of that, but it's still, the game's been running on my computer was the Empyrion machine for a while. So we're getting to the base. You can see the bridge now, which is awesome. Coming in for our landing here. We use this giant field over here to land it. And I like to land with the front facing... Hold on. Make sure I'm lining this up right. Yep. Okay. With the front of our ship... Oh, helps if I'm not in Alt. If you hit Alt... Oh, I'm starving to death. I'm going to starve before I land. This is going to be awful. Alright. So, we've got... to land this thing before I starve. Yes, I know I'm hungry. Yes, I know I should find something to eat. Stop telling me what to do. You're not my parents. Alright. Landing this here-ish should be good. Don't worry about the trees. We will fit like a glove. Let's get landed here evenly. Here. Hitting O will... center your vessel. It will orient it to gravity so it's upright. Especially when you have gravity on the vessel, it's a big concern because you've got it configured for all your steps and your stairs and things like that you're going to be using it this way, and if gravity does not line up, it causes some issues. All right, let's see if this is close enough. I want to get it as close to this bridge as possible so I don't have to walk so far. And we're coming down. Boom. And then we can just kind of level it like that and get out. And that is how we land this ginormous guy. Do I have any food? Yes, I do. I died a couple times. I starved to death, more accurately, because I'm really good at that. I've told you, I've starved to death many, many times. Alright, let's see. Is this open? The ramp is not down, so we go up and we hit our button to descend the ramp, and then we can just travel down and right to the ground. Isn't that stunning? I got some lights, oh god, that just looks like it should be cooking my head. Like, it's not even making me hot, but that's, see, the thing is that bothers me. I think it's because it's not landed on a perfectly level patch. One thing I do want to do is make a capital vessel landing pad, which will make it a lot easier to land this. Right now it's just eating up power because it's not level. It's got to constantly fire these thrusters to keep it from tipping over. If I had a perfectly level landing pad, which I think I'm going to make as an extension to this bridge, either carve out this whole mountain, which is not something I'm looking forward to, or more likely build a little ramp out of stone up to that level, because that is a pretty large flat area we've got going on up here. It wouldn't take much to build a little platform on top of there for landing. Oops, for landing our capital vessel. I keep forgetting the range on this drone is like just ridiculous. So that's our new capital ship that we've been playing around with. But we are going to go back to basics and show you how to create a capital ship from scratch. Because while that is splendid, I think that that ate up so many resources. Now, fortunately, we have resources. We have tons of them. We went to a couple different planets and just mined the crud out of them. Justin ended up spending a day farming in this greenhouse here. Got enough food together to go to the trading post in the family car. And traded until he had enough. Ooh, he's painted up this wall. Oh, I love it. He's done some work. But he traded enough fruit and veg and food to wind up buying the Zescosium and the Erestrium you needed to, or the different minerals you needed to build all the stuff for this capital vessel. So he really hauled it to get this ship built, and I think it is so rewarding. Did he bury my water generators? What? Oh, and he's been building fusion cells because he hit level 20. He's there. He's arrived. This here we left unpainted because this is where we want to put the repair bay when we make it. Again, we need a Scosium and a restroom for that, and that is why we went to Ascalon, which you need a capital vessel for. So that, I think, will be our goal going forward, is to make a new capital vessel so we don't have to rely on the Sentry Eagle. What I think I'm going to do is we're going to make a small vessel and fly that out somewhere, and then get ourselves back here with a small vessel, or, I mean, we may just do that off camera and cheat a little bit and bring it back. Oh, right, I had all my plants over here, but when I moved those up to the capital ship, I was like, where'd my plants go? What's going on? I'm confused. Please help me. But, anyway, that is the Central Eagle, and it is a work of art. I love it. I'm actually thinking about publishing it to the Steam Workshop, because one of the neat things about Empyrion is you can download different templates or blueprints rather, from the Steam Workshop and use them to build ships in your game. I mean, I've got just a ton. Most of these are. I've built a couple. Like you can see the ones I've built, which is if you hit your little person. This is hit the F2 button. It opens up all your blueprints. Asteroid Adjacent is a base we made, a space station we made. Badonkadonk is my small vessel. This is the Lars farm I built. It's pretty cool. This is, of course, the wrong name. We had it originally Century Peregrine, but I thought the Eagle sounded better. I don't know what this one is. I don't know what this one is. This one is our base from Ningguis. This is not the Ericsson. This is the Baby A that I thought was being the Ericsson, which was another capital vessel. This is the Grey Goose. It's a simpler capital vessel. I'm thinking well, I'm almost level 20, but this is all the resources it needs. It needs 410 Zescosium. Criminy, what did I make? Imperial Speeder Bike is kind of cool. This is really cheap too. It's only 126 iron, 106. You know what? I think we have enough on the oh yeah, we emptied that out. Let me go to the Millennium Falcon. I mean the Sentry Eagle, and grab some resources. I'm going to show you how the blueprinting section thing works, because that's actually a kind of a fun aspect of this game. Once I trot on over there, I know I have that much iron. I probably have to, like, it won't take the ore, it'll only take the ingots, so that's kind of a pain. Come on. I keep double tapping forward like it's gonna make me run. No. In this game you hit shift and it runs. So there is a difference between this and that's another thing, like switching between this and Minecraft so much. It's like you get I hit tab to try to get into the inventory in Minecraft, and I'll hit E to try to get in the inventory here. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Oh, it's such a cool ship. I think it's probably a little bigger scale than the Millennium Falcon was on the movie. But they didn't actually have to put any engines and all that jazz in there, so, you know, it being a little big is probably not a crisis. So, again, I don't fuss around with walking to it. Constructor. Advanced Constructor. This is not the right one. This is supposed to be his smuggler one that I have no idea where it is. I can find it. It wouldn't be a problem. Yes, everything is in ore form. Dang it. Let's go ahead and build some iron. And we'll wait for that to get done. I might just cut this whole section out, because this is going to be boring watching 178. How much else? What else do we need? What else do we do? Ah! Go back. Okay. I need copper and silicon. So, let's get back to the constructor and make some copper. Let's do 120 of that, I think, and then silicon. I only need like 70, so I don't need a whole lot of that, but we'll be back once this is all done. And we're back, and all this is made. That was quick. Actually, it wasn't too bad. We're going to go outside, because that is where we'll need to be. It shouldn't take too long for the blueprint to create itself. So here's the Imperial Speeder Bike. I have all these ingots, so we go to factory. And what I can do is put my 126 ingots in. And putting more in is fine, but you end up wasting them unless you build a lot of stuff in the builder. Shoot, that was a mistake. Oh, for gosh sake. There we go. Okay. 106, and then 77 of these. So let's do that, and that's almost perfect. What? Item doesn't contribute to... This is... Oh, what? What? That's iron. Iron, did I... Oh, there it is. Derp. That's why. Let's do that, and then 77. Okay, 77 ingots. Okay, so it doesn't let you overdo anymore, so that's cool. So it's going to take 11 minutes for this to run, so we're going to do another cut. This is and fun. We're back, and we have about 40 seconds left until my speeder bike is ready. Now, I have already modified this a little bit, like I painted it because it had to be pretty. But... So you'll see it has a little timer that counts down exactly how much more time you have. So I've pretty much blocked out about 10 minutes of the production time because no one wants to see my screen count down from 11 minutes. That's... Oh, it's dark. Let me get inside the ship. I didn't realize it was dark. I've just been standing here in the wild. Not getting attacked, thank goodness, but could have been. Let me pull up my ramp. Not that anything can really... I mean, if you leave your ramp down and the door open, they can get in. But I don't think other entities can open that door. 1 second, and it's ready to go. So now I've got this done. So now what I do is I click back on my speeder bike, and you can hit spawn, right? No? Oh, here it is. So you'll click on that one. Oh, come on. Open. Okay. Oh, and you can manually put these ramps down. I do that all the time because I forget I have a button. Right, F2, and then click here and hit spawn, and why you no spawn? Oh, it's probably thinking I'm in the way of the ship. Hold on. Come on. Let me put it down. Why can't... Don't tell me I have to put it down on a base. That's gonna make me mildly upset. What? You must spawn this object on a base or capital vessel. Really? Okay, that's new. You used to be able to just spawn it any old where. So this is my Imperial speeder bike. It is splendid. I think I need to put some power in it. Yeah, I don't have any power cells. Ah! Well, it'll sit here for now. Get off. Get off the ship. Okay. But this is the Imperial speeder bike, and I just spawned that in. So it's super simple hover vessel. I got a chest back here. No, I didn't want to get on it. I just wanted to look at this. There's a little... hatch. What's this go to? Oh, my fuel cell. Fuel tank. Cool. So, it's really simple. It doesn't have any arms or... Oh, it does have a gun. It has a little Gatling gun, which is awesome. So I can fill that up with ammo. It's a really little efficient little bike. Props to whoever made it. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Where are you? Imperial speeder bike. It does not say who made it. But... props to whoever made it. It's a really efficient, effective little ship. So I can use this to get around the planet now, to go mining some more, because we will have to mine some more, I'm sure, before we get too much farther. But that is how to use the factory and how to spawn in blueprints from other locations. We must have a... Oh, they're dead. We had drone attack apparently, and our base took care of it quite handily, because that is what we have made it to do. So, with that being said, that is all I'm going to cover right in this moment. Next episode, we will be back to our survival world with Justin and I putzing around trying to make a life out of this insane world we've been dropped into. But for now, this is the Century Eagle saying, see you next time.